Ever wondered what the Florida real estate market will look like when the baby boomer generation passes away? An intriguing question, isn't it? Let's dive into this topic, starting with the importance of the baby boomer generation to the real estate market. As a significant demographic group born between 1946 and 1964, baby boomers have significantly shaped the housing market in America. They've driven demand in popular retirement destinations, like Florida, seeking warmer climates, lower costs of living, and a place to enjoy their golden years. Florida, with its sunny beaches and inviting climate, has been a magnet for the baby boomer generation. But it's not just the weather that's attractive. Florida's housing market offers affordable options, making it an ideal choice for retirees. However, it's not just about affordability. A trend has emerged over the last few years, a shift in the housing market that has seen a significant migration of people from high-tax states to places like Florida. This trend, accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, has seen people seeking more space and affordable housing in suburban areas. This migration wave, as reported by Forbes, is not just a short-term phenomenon. It's expected to have long-term consequences on housing prices, infrastructure, and jobs. The influence of the baby boomer generation on this trend is undeniable. But let's take a moment to consider the future. What happens to the Florida real estate market when the baby boomer generation is no longer part of the equation? So, as we see, the baby boomer generation has a significant impact on Florida's real estate market. But what happens when this generation is no longer part of the equation? To understand the future, we first need to understand the present, and that means taking a closer look at the baby boomer generation and their influence on the real estate market. Baby boomers, those born between 1946 and 1964, make up a significant portion of today's home buyers. Their preferences and trends have greatly shaped the real estate market, especially in areas like Florida. Recent shifts in their living arrangements have resulted in several fascinating trends. The COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, has led many older adults to reassess their housing needs, ushering in a wave of new demands in the real estate market. One such trend is the rise of accessory dwelling units, affectionately known as granny flats. These units enable older homeowners to downsize while staying close to their families. It's a solution that offers independence, proximity to loved ones, and a way to age in place. Another interesting trend is the desire for proximity to adult children and grandchildren. This has led to a surge in multi-generational living and the creation of gated 55-plus enclaves in master-planned communities. It seems that for many boomers, family closeness is a top priority. Wellness design is another emerging trend among 55-plus home buyers. This includes improved indoor ventilation, stress reduction features, and outdoor living spaces that promote privacy and year-round enjoyment. Builders are responding to these demands by creating amenities that promote healthy socialization, such as outdoor fitness classes and community trails. Finally, there's a growing demand for accessible homes with barrier-free entries and features like low-threshold showers and wheelchair-friendly entrances. It appears that safety and accessibility are becoming increasingly important to this generation. With these trends in mind, it's clear that the baby boomers have specific needs and preferences. But what happens when these needs and preferences are no longer a driving force in the market? As the baby boomer generation passes away, the demand in the real estate market will inevitably change. This shift can be seen in various ways, one of which is the decline in demand for certain types of properties, particularly senior housing. This trend has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has led to a significant shift in how we view and value elder care. Just look at CareTrust, a major owner of elder care housing. They've had to replace one of their operators due to a decline in demand, despite receiving over $150 million in federal COVID-19 aid. This decline is not just a reflection of the passing of the baby boomer generation, but also of the changing expectations of care and living arrangements among the older population. On the other side of the coin, there's an increase in demand for properties that cater to different living arrangements. Accessory dwelling units, also known as granny flats, are gaining popularity, allowing older homeowners to age in place or downsize while staying close to their families. There's also a growing trend towards multi-generational living, with a focus on proximity to adult children and grandchildren. Wellness design features are becoming more sought after, with a focus on improved indoor ventilation and stress reduction. The desire to enjoy outdoor spaces year-round is leading to the popularity of outdoor living features. And let's not forget about the increasing demand for accessible homes with barrier-free entries and features like low-threshold showers and wheelchair-friendly entrances. These changing trends could significantly impact the market. But what does this mean for the Florida real estate market specifically? As we've seen, the passing of the baby boomer generation will bring about significant changes. But what are the implications for the Florida real estate market? First, let's talk about property values. The boomer influence has traditionally buoyed Florida's real estate market with a steady demand for homes. As this generation passes, we could see a shift in demand, which could potentially lead to changes in property values. But it's not all doom and gloom. The migration trend we've seen, with people moving from higher tax states to places like Florida, could help to sustain demand and therefore property values. Next, let's consider the types of properties in demand. Boomers have been known for their love of single-family homes and retirement communities. However, with the rise of a younger generation and their different living preferences, we might see a shift towards more urban living spaces, apartments, and condos. This could lead to a diversification of the real estate market, potentially making it more resilient to future economic shocks. The overall real estate climate in Florida could also see some changes. As reported by Florida Realtors, new listings and median prices in the market have been on the rise. This suggests a healthy and active market. However, the passing of the boomers could bring about an increase in the number of properties on the market. This could lead to a temporary oversupply, but it could also create opportunities for first-time homebuyers and investors. On the other hand, we might also see an increased demand for wellness and accessibility features in homes, as we've seen with the 55-plus homebuyers. This could lead to new opportunities for builders and developers to cater to a market that values health and well-being. So, as we can see, the future of the Florida real estate market is poised for change. But remember, change isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an opportunity for growth and adaptation. So, what's the final verdict on the future of the Florida real estate market? As we've journeyed through the complexities of this topic, we've unearthed some fascinating insights. We've seen how the baby boomer generation, those born between 1946 and 1964, have been a significant driving force in the Florida real estate market. With their retirement years often coinciding with a desire for warmer climates and lifestyle changes, Florida has been a prime choice. However, as the baby boomer generation ages, a change in demand is inevitable. This shift is already being seen as the pandemic has sparked a re-evaluation of living arrangements, particularly among older adults. Trends such as multi-generational living, wellness design features, and the popularity of accessory dwelling units are on the rise. But what does this mean for the Florida real estate market? While it's difficult to predict with certainty, we can anticipate that these changing demands will shape the landscape of the market. The shift in population from high-tax states to places like Florida, facilitated by remote work opportunities, suggests a continued interest in the state. Meanwhile, the focus on profitability in elder care facilities highlights the need for quality care in a state popular among retirees. And let's not forget the ever-present influence of technology. As seen with platforms like Florida Realtors, the integration of tech in the real estate market is making property transactions more accessible and efficient. This trend is likely to continue and evolve in response to new demands and market changes. In summary, the future of the Florida real estate market is a tapestry woven with threads of demographic shifts, changing lifestyle preferences, technological advancements, and the enduring appeal of the Sunshine State. While there's uncertainty about what the future holds, one thing is clear: the Florida real estate market will continue to evolve and adapt, just as it always has.